Hey YouTube, this is Jaden Storm coming at you from Team Shadow Strike, and this is going to be another deck profile for you guys. I know this is the 4th in a row, and there's one more to come. And this video is going to be covering my Claret Sword Dragon deck. This is no longer an Abyss version of Claret. I no longer have my Abyss stuff. I traded off my Abyss stuff and got a lot of stuff that I wanted. So, anyway guys, I'm going to get into this deck profile for you, and I will tell you guys this deck may seem a little weird at first, but hear me out. I will explain everything. In playtesting, guys, this deck is crazy consistent, and it is very, very good. So anyway, guys, here we go. So, for the starting Vanguard, I play Knight of Meditation Mach-Nessa. Now, before you hit the red X button and all that, let me just hear me out. So this unit's ability, Forerunner, when a grade 1 Shadow Paladin rides it, you slide it out. I like her for her skill, because generally in the early stage of the game, your first stride has the highest probability of hitting your opponent. And I really like her skill. Whenever this unit is sacrificed for one of your card effects, you may counterblast 1, and your Vanguard receives 5,000 power for that turn, and a skill of if their attack hits a Vanguard, you may retire 1 unit. I like this for the first Aura Geyser play. Now, that does not mean I still don't play David, because I still play 2 David. That is right. I play technically 3 starters in this deck, but Mach-Nessa is the starter, and the Davids stay in the deck until I have to call them out. David, whenever he's sacrificed for a card effect, he counts as 2 tributes. This really works, guys, because it's easy to sack 2 for that first Aura Geyser play, because with all the superior calling you do, you can afford to literally, for real, sack 2 units on the board and then use your Davids for your later strides. This works for me. It is, in playtesting, extremely consistent, a lot of fun, and I encourage you to try it. I know some people have gone to playing 3 David, but I actually like Mach-Nessa. So, Grade 0s, we play 4 copies of Taboo Mage Kefar. This is the Claret Sword Dragon trigger. Whenever Claret Sword attacks, you may shove this unit in the soul. Claret Sword gains 5,000 power, and you get to draw a free card. So, then we play 4 Revenger Undead Angel, 2 copies of Grim Revenger, and 2 copies of Revenger Air Raid Dragon. So yes, this is a 12 crit deck. The reason I don't play draw triggers in this deck, guys, is because it makes literally no sense. I also do not play cards that draw any except 1. And the reason for this is Aura Geyser draws, the Doomed draws, Claret Sword, Superior calls grade 1s. You don't need to draw cards. You have abilities that will bring you what you need, and you can conserve your hand. So by having extra crits floating around, there's a more high probability that when your opponent says no guard, you're going to double crit them, and they're going to be in trouble if they're, you know, it just makes more sense to me that way. So I don't play draw triggers. Some people have played the stand trigger. I don't like the stand trigger for the reason of if you don't know what you're going to sack off, and I don't like that. Then we play our 4 Flat Bow, because he is the most adorable trigger in the world. So, that's for the grade 0s. Grade 1s, we play 4 copies of Karma Collector for our G-Perfects, because G-Perfects helps us unflip damage. Next, we play 4 copies of Dark Quartz Dragon. Dark Quartz Dragon is the grade 1 that you should be playing 4 of in this deck, no questions asked, because his ability to power up essentially 3 units when the combo is done right is absolutely stupid. Dark Quartz Dragon's ability is Generation Break 1. When this unit is placed on rear guard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Claret Sword Dragon in its card name, choose one of your Vanguards, and that unit and this unit gain 3,000 power until the end of turn. So whenever this unit is called and your Vanguard is Claret Sword, this unit gains 3,000 power, and your Vanguard gains 3,000 power. So it powers up very considerably. And there's another card that this combos with too, which I'll get to in a second. Next, we play 3 copies of Cherishing Knight Branwyn. This is our Shadow Paladin Stride Enabler. So whenever we discard it, it gets an immediate +2 to the grade, so we can ditch it to Stride. And then its other abilities: when this unit is placed on the rear guard, you may reveal a grade 3 unit from your hand, search your deck for 1 copy of Supremacy Dragon Claret Sword Dragon, add it to your hand, and then discard 1 card from your hand. So it's there. And then for the only card that actually lets me draw on this deck is I played 2 copies of Swordbreaker Angel, or Blackwing Swordbreaker. I'm sorry. Basically, when this unit is called from the deck, you Soul Blast 1 and draw a card, which you can call out through Claret Sword Dragon, or another card that you'll see later. But it's there. So, and also keep in mind, what I really like about this deck specifically, riding your Perfect Guard is not necessarily bad, because with Aura Geyser and Blackwing Swordbreaker, you can just immediately Soul Blast it and then be able to start unflipping damage. So, grade 2s, and the card that Dark Quartz also combos with is 4 copies of Knight of Brawn Grozny, I think his name's pronounced. His ability is Generation Break 1. When your other unit with a grade less than this unit is placed on rearguard, this unit gets plus 3,000 power. So, say you have 2 of these on the field, and you call a Dark Quartz. Quartz gains 3k, your Vanguards gain 3k, and they gain 3k. So you can stupidly power up your field in one big bunch. So this card is very, very good. I will tell you ahead of time, I do not play Dark Pride Dragon. Not that I don't think Dark Pride is a bad card. It is, but the way I play this deck and the way I've tested it, it's been just fine, and I don't need Dark Pride. Plus, since I play 2 David still, along with another starter, I have plenty of sack bait without having to play Dark Pride to have access to that skill. So there's no reason for me to play Dark Pride. If you are just dead set about not trying this, then yeah, I would play Dark Pride. But these 3 allow me so much freedom to where I don't need it. So I don't play Dark Pride. Next, we play 3 copies of Dark Knight Maiden Matcha. I was going to have to order these because I did not buy any of the trial decks, but luckily my good friend Zach, who is a Shadow Paladin freak, and I say that with all the respect in the world, got 4 of the Legend decks when they came out, so he had plenty of these, and he gave me a play set of the commons for free. So thank you very much, Zach. Basically, her ability is Generation Break 1. Whenever this unit attacks a Vanguard and this unit is boosted, you may Counterblast 1 and Superior Call a Grade 1 from the deck, which you're usually going to go grab Dark Quartz Dragon or your Blackwing Swordbreaker. So it's she's there to toolbox. This is literally the only card that is from the Legend deck that I play, and I'm not counting the triggers because triggers are triggers. I play them for their artwork. That's it. But this card is it's not needed, but it is definitely a huge plus to have. So I would definitely play it. Then for the rest of the grade 2s, I play 2 copies of Knight of Solemnity Balburith. This is the Shadow Paladin Generation Break 12k attacker. So whenever he attacks Vanguard, he gains 3k. So, and then for the last grade 2, which will probably give away another card in the deck that you haven't seen yet, is I play 2 copies of Fighting Spirit Revenger Macart. So I do play a Legion in this deck. I just like it because it's a good backup. Because if your opponent somehow survives the onslaught of Aura Geyser, Doomed, and then anything else you throw at them, you can go straight to your Legion with Macart, and and just immediately apply even more pressure with an extra crit. So to me, it makes sense. So for the grade 3s, we play 4 copies of Supremacy Dragon, Claret Sword Dragon. So his ability is Generation Break 2, sacrifice 2 units, and this unit gains 10,000 power and +1 critical. And then anytime that he is strode on, you may counterblast 1, Superior Collect grade 1 from your deck, and that unit gains 2,000 power. So, and then we play 3 copies of Ambitious Spirit Revenger Cormac. So, the reason, there was a lot of different ideas that I floated around. I was going to play Phantom Blaster Dragon. I was going to play Abyss. But it just wasn't consistent. And this build that I'm showing you is the most consistent version of Claret that I've seen, or at least that I've come up with. And it doesn't have any of the support that got flocked to because it was winning. So that's a great deal of the fact that I like it so much. Because if your opponent survives everything that you throw at him with Clarets and all your Aura Geyser plays, this guy swings for 23 plus a crit by himself, and when he's in Legion. And if you have a boost behind him, he's going to be swinging for 30 plus a crit. Well, in the late stages of the game, if they've been perfect guarding your Aura Geyser plays, this guy's going to hit, and it's going to hurt them. So, to me, it makes the most sense. And because since you have thinned your deck a lot with your Aura Geyser plays, you're going to put triggers back, and you're going to be very likely to hit them because at that point your deck will be very, very thin. So, to me, that is just, it makes sense. So, that is the main deck. Then for the G-Zone, we play 1 copy of Dark Knight Grim Recruiter. Whenever this unit attacks a Vanguard and it hits, you may Superior Call a grade 1 from the deck. Oh, and yeah, this is the only other card that I play from the Legend deck. Literally, the only 2 I play that actually do anything is Matcha and this. But considering every clan has a card that boosts and does something, I don't really count that from the Legend deck. I think that should have been, like, say, in this set. And then this guy should have been reprinted in this set anyway because he's generic. But who cares? And then I play 1 copy of Dark Knight Ephanetian. I like Ephanetian just because, for some whatever reason, if you decide not to go to Aura Geyser first, I do like him. But Ephanetian skill, whenever you stride, you may sack 1 unit, and he gains 7,000 power. And then if his attack hits a Vanguard, you can retire 1 unit. So, next we play 4 copies of Supremacy Black Dragon, Aura Geyser Dragon. So, his ability is, whenever this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, and Generation Blast, and reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. For every grade 1 or lower unit revealed, he gains 5,000 power. So, and what's so nice about him is he can be your first stride, so which he generally is. So, he is an absolutely amazing card. And then for the last stride unit, is I play 2 copies of Supremacy Black Dragon or Geyser Doomed. So, anywho, Doomed. The one thing that you need to keep in mind that is different between Aura Geyser Dragon and Aura Geyser Doomed. Aura Geyser Dragon, his effect activates on attack. His effect happens in the main phase. So make sure you learn the difference. Aura Geyser Doomed. Excuse me, guys. You may Counterblast 1, select a face-down card named Supremacy Black Dragon or Geyser Dragon from your G-Zone and turn it face up. So, one of these. And then choose 3 of your rear guards and retire them. Reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. For each grade 1 or less card revealed with this effect, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. Put the rest of the cards revealed with this effect into your hand. If the number of cards face-up named Supremacy Black Dragon or Geyser Dragon in your G-Zone is 3 or more, this unit gets +1 critical. So, pretty good, in my opinion, because keep in mind, all of these cards are going to add cards to your hand. Claret Sword's going to call things out, so you're going to be able to conserve a hand in this deck real easy. That's why I said draw triggers are not needed. So anyway, guys, that is my Claret Sword Dragon deck. So It's a lot of fun. It's very consistent. I'm so glad that this deck is finally complete because, in my honest opinion, I have had more fun playtesting this than any other Shadow Paladin deck that I've played since Raging Form first came out. But I really, really love this deck. It is so much fun to play. It's very consistent. It gains advantage. And it's just overall fun to play. And it's not probably a build that you'll see a lot, and so I enjoy it. So anyway, guys, in the comment section below, tell me what you think. Tell me what you didn't like, or give me your opinion. I always like to hear what you guys think. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, as much as I enjoyed making it for you. So please, in the comment section below, share your thoughts with me. Tell me what you thought. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and a like for me. I'd really appreciate that. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up the video, and I'll see you next time.